Moving towards with our next module, that is CSS Flexbox. So like we have seen in previously regarding the positioning property and the floats. Both are used for alignment or positioning the containers. This is the third technique with which we can position or align the particular container or element. So in this module, we will cover flex direction, item alignment, container alignment, how to individually align the particular individual element, and there are some common properties such as grow, shrink, and basis. Just check out what is Flexbox. So previously for alignment of the page layout, we use float and positioning, but they are having some limitations such as vertically centering a block of content inside its parent, making all children take up all amount or equal amount of the available width and height regardless of how much is available, making all columns in multiple column layout adapt the same height even if they contain a different amount of content. For this, Flexbox is used. Let's check the different properties. First comes the direction. Suppose we have a product listing page where we have number of items listed in a row. But suppose these items are block level items and we want to align one beside the another as shown in this figure. So for that we use flex and we can decide the direction of that flex also. So for that there are four values of flexbox direction, that is row, row reverse, column and column reverse. So as you can see, the row defines the element to be aligning from left to right, and the row reverse is the opposite of row, that is from right to left. Similarly for the column, it is aligning the item from top to bottom, and in the column reverse it is reverse to the column, that is opposite of the column, aligning the item from bottom to top. So this is the way we can align the items in different direction using the flexbox direction. Next come is the item alignment. So for alignment of item, we use align item property of the flexbox. It supports five values: flex start, flex end, center, stretch, and baseline. So we will start with the flex start. So as you can see here, there are four items with different content, and we want that this item should be aligned in a container, that is the black container at the top side. So we will use flex start. If we want the items to be aligned at the bottom of the container, we will use the flex end. For centering the item in the container, we will use the center. And if we want that all the items should cover the whole height of the container, we should use the flex align item property with a value of stretch. And suppose we want that the item should be not be centered, but it should be at the baseline of the container. So like every container is having some baseline, so using that we can align the items also. So basically the baseline is used when we want more exposure to the reading content. So in such scenarios the baseline is used. Moving forward with the content alignment. The content alignment can be handled by the two properties such as align content and justify content. The align content is used to align row container child inside the parent container, and justify content is used to align the child inside the row container. Both have the same property values such as flex start, flex end, stretch, center, space between, and space around. We will all check this in action also. Moving on with the next topic, that is the individual alignment. For alignment of single items in the series of items in a row, we use align self property. It uses the same values as align content such as start, end, baseline, stretch and center. And there are some common properties for the flexbox such as flex grow, shrink and basis. So flex grow is used to instruct the item to grow width of a certain amount as per value. Similarly, the shrink is opposite to grow. It will reduce the item width with certain amount. Flex basis is used to instruct or provide information about the width of uniform value for all the child items. Let's just dive into coding of Flexbox. So we are back again with our coding session of Flexbox. So before diving into, I will just let you know and explain regarding the starter code of the Flexbox. So what I've done is I have created a container, inside that a main container, and the addition to the main container we will add the Flexbox property to that, and inside that we will have the child elements with the four divs, empty divs. And what I've did is I have added the display property to the main. I have given the width and height to them and some background and margin to have some spaces between them and height of 100% so that it should cover the 100% of that. What I've done is I've added the item name and the background color using the after pseudo selector and the nth child selector. So as you can see, like I have added the item name and the color of all the things. So first we will go with the flex box order. So in the flex box order, what we can do is we can give the ordering of the items. So as you can see here, like the first item is the blue color and the item we have given is the with the item name 1. Okay, so similarly it goes in increasing order and the color also. So with the flexbox order we can change the order of the items. Like what I've done is I have given the first item the order of 4 and the fourth item the order of 1. So technically the fourth order is this color and item 4, and I have given the order of 1, so it is showing me at the first position. Similar way we can give any of the order, or we can shuffle the items within themselves in the using the flexbox order. You should make sure, like if we are only applying the order to a particular child, it won't work. It will instead break the ordering of the flexbox child. Moving forward with the flexbox grow, I will just comment out this flexbox order and I will show you the flexbox grow. So what does the flexbox grow? By default, flex grow is having a value of 1, and by giving the value like the 3 value, what it is doing is multiply the default value by 3. It's giving instruction that multiply the given value by 3. So as you can see here, this item 2, that is the n child 2, n child 2 is the item 2 with the color of this one. So it is doing the same thing. It is targeting the second child and is instructing to increase the size of the flex by into 3. What I've done is I have given the grow container a width of 300 pixel, a static pixel, and the height also. This is the way the grow works. Next comes the shrink. So similar way we can have a look for the shrink also. So in shrink what happens is As we have grown, we have increased the width of the child element in the grow part. We can reduce the width of the child element using the shrink also. So after saving this, so similar way, like I have targeted the second child item, and using the flex shrink I have asked the browser to shrink the particular item by 3. So it is like whatever the default size is, reduce the particular child by 3%, or like it's some kind of percentage. Next comes the flex basis. So for the flex basis, we are having the same container type. Save it. And so normally this looks like this, and flex basis only works with flex grow. If the flex grow value is not present, it won't work. So we should make sure that we have a flex grow value also. So default flex grow has a value of auto. If we add flex 1, it will be a similar type of thing. If I am adding the below code like the flex grow of 1 and flex basis, so as you can see, so moving forward with the flex direction, what I've done is I have added the same type of markup for the flex direction, and in the flex direction we have discussed regarding the direction of row reverse, column and column reverse. So for the all the different types of the values, we will look at the developer console. So I have added, okay, so first we will go with the row value. So row is the default value. It has, every flex is having a default value of row. As you can see here, like we are having the row, we can have the row reverse. So what does the reverse do is it will arrange the child items in the reverse order. So for the row, it shows the items horizontally. For the columns, it shows the items vertically. So I am adding the columns. As you can see here, like the items are being shown vertically. I'm adding the value of column reverse, it will show the items vertically but in reverse order. So this is the way the flex direction works. Moving on with the flex wrap. For example, there are scenarios like there are multiple number of childs. As an example, we can take the shopping board or shopping cart. So like the we need the item to be wrapped on the new line. So for that, flex wrap is working. For example, if I'm not having this thing, I'm not having the flex wrap, so you can see like it's breaking all the child item, it is squeezing the items on the particular section. If I'm having the wrap, it works normally, it will take the whole item. Moving on with the flex flow. For the flex flow is nothing but a shortened property of writing the flex direction and the flex wrap. It is similar to, like, we can combine both the values on the single line. So we have written column reverse and wrap. So I will just uncomment this code so that we can have a visual effect regarding the flex flow also. So as I told, it is a column reverse plus it is a wrap. I just forgot to tell you, like the flex flow doesn't, the wrap along with the column reverse doesn't work, so we will have row reverse for this. So saving this, you can see like we are having the row reverse and we are having the wrap also. This way the flex flow works. Moving forward with the justify content item. So whenever we want that the whole item content should be at the start or at the end or at the center, we can go with the justify content. And as you can see on my screen, like it has multiple values: flex start, flex end, flex center, space between, space around, and space evenly. So saving this, you can have a look regarding this. Okay, so we have flex end. Cool. So what I will do is I will have some kind of small thing. We are not able to. Okay, so as you can see, like the items are at the end of the container. So this is the way the justify content works. If I'm uncommenting this is the flex start, this is the default value. So if you uncomment that also, you can have default values like this. If I'm flex end, you can see like how this is how it works. If I'm not having flex end, if I'm having center, the item will be placed at the center. Space between, this is the most important thing. Like we can have the space between the items. So the end and the start item left hand side will be included. And to if you want that this should also have some space, then we should go with the space around. You can see here, so there is a much difference between the space around and space between. So you can see with the space between, the space around, and the last one is the space evenly. Space evenly means all the items will be having equal spaces. So this is the way justify content works. Moving forward with the aligning the items. Okay, so for the aligning items, what I have done is, okay, okay, so what I've done is I have given the minimum width and minimum width and height for the child items, and height and width will be the initial values. There is some reason, that's the reason I have given him. So I've given some minimum height and maximum height and width of auto, so that it can take any value. So let's jump into how the align item works. Okay, so it has many values like center, flex start, flex end. So we will start with the aligning item at the center. So you can see like items are aligned at the center of the section. At the flex end, we can have the flex start also here. Flex start. So it would be at the top. That is the default one. Then we can have the stretch also. So stretch, you can see like this is having the stretch one. So this is the way we can have multiple type of values for this also. So moving forward with the aligning content. Aligning content is also having the same type of values, that is flex and flex start, between, around, and stretch. I will go for the aligning content. It do have multiple child elements. Saving this, you can just check this out. It is having multiple values. By the way, this wrap is due to this value we have given the flex wrap. Now let's play around the developer tool. What we will do is we will start with the flex end. So you can see like at the end of the container, flex start is the default one, and the start of the container between space between, as the container is very small due to the browser size, we are not able to see that space around. It will have the overall space distributed and stretches, it will take the whole width. This is the way the align content works. So, and the last but not the least, we have the align self. So if you want to have the alignment of a particular child, so we can do that also. So as you can see, like we have aligned item 2, we can align that. So for example, if I'm having the flex end, so you can that is flex end, it is aligning at the end of the container. Flex start is the default, that is at the top, center will be the center, baseline will be the default line flow. This is the way the align self works. Hope you like the video. Thank you.